Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you a modification that you can make to any climbing stick that you may be using. Before season starts, I'm going to be purchasing an Extension backcountry combo, and that will come with 4 of their Mantis climbing sticks. As soon as those come in, I'll be switching this add-on over to those sticks, but for today I'm going to be putting it on a Hawk Helium climbing stick. I already had this stick laying around, and I'll need this set up within the next several weeks so that I can start hanging my trail cameras. My plan this year is to hang them all 10 to 12 feet in the air to hopefully avoid them growing legs and walking off as they've done in years past. Hopefully getting them above the line of sight of any people walking by, and any deer for that matter, will help me retain more of my trail cameras from year to year. But this modification is also going to be very helpful for any of you with mobile hunting setups that are interested in getting higher up in the tree without adding much weight at all to your setup. This really weighs next to nothing, and the cost is so low that you're basically just going to be paying shipping costs. I do have to preface this video by saying that I don't recommend any of you guys to make this setup on your climbing sticks. Any modification that you can make to your climbing stick could possibly increase the risk of the stick failing and you getting injured, so I just want to say I'm not recommending any of you guys to do this to your own gear. I also have to give a quick shout out to the YouTube channel DIY Sportsman. I believe it was his channel that I originally saw this modification on and got this idea from. So I'm going to link his channel in the description box below so you can go check him out for great instructional videos on pretty much anything hunting. So this modification is really easy to make. You basically just need a climbing stick, and you'll need a 6-foot section of 1-inch tubular webbing and a 1-foot section of 11mm static climbing rope. You can purchase both of these items from REI, and I'll be posting links in the description box below so you can go pick them up for yourself. The first thing you need to do is make sure your section of the 1-inch tubular webbing is cut to 6 foot long, and then you're going to take your 1-foot section of the 11mm static climbing rope, and you're basically going to shove it down the tubular webbing. And what this is going to do is it's going to provide just a little bit of rigid support in your foot loop to allow it to stay open so you can put your foot in it. So I just discovered an easier way to get the rope down the tubing, and basically all you do is start at one end of your rope inside of the tubing, and then you kind of hold on tightly to the whole thing and hold on loosely just to the tubular webbing, and you can kind of push it down through there, and then you just have to kind of slinky it up almost, or slinky it down the tubular webbing. And you just kind of have to work with it until you get it down in there where you want it. So I don't know exactly where this needs to end up, so I'm just going to lay this out for now and start making my knot. So you just want to lay this out flat on a table, and you'll have your tubular webbing down here. This is going to be a little bit difficult to explain, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I just have it laid out flat, and I have one end folded over the other with no twists in any of the tubing, and all I'm going to do is kind of put this top section here about 3/4 of the length of the whole thing. And then when you do that, you're going to take this bottom side here and just fold it over this top section. Now what I'm kind of aiming for is this top piece here to almost split this whole thing in half. So I'm going to have to adjust this and try again. So once you have this basically splitting the whole thing in half, what you're going to do is take this whole end here that you just made, and you're just going to make an overhand knot. Go ahead and tighten that down, just snug it up, and then you'll be left with a loop here that's going to go onto your climbing stick, and you'll be left with the loop that's going to be your foothold. And now you'll have to keep adjusting your 11mm rope inside of the tubular webbing to get it to the position that you want it in. So now you can see I have a nice foothold here, and I'm just going to attach this to my climbing stick now. For this one, I just have to remove this one bolt here, and this little piece here will come off, and I'll just slide this over it and then reattach this back on, and that will hold your extension on really as good as you need it to. So now that I have that piece off, I'm just going to slide this over. And reattach it back to where it was. So now that you have your extension made, you'll be using your climbing stick basically just as you would before, and you're just going to be putting it up high enough in the tree that you'll still be getting enough of a benefit of using this extension. And you just want to kind of dictate your height for your climbing stick from there, and then you just attach it just as you would before you put the extension on. It is kind of tricky getting your foot into this webbing because it can just kind of fly around, but it'll be much easier with a hard sole boot. And for that reason, whenever I'm doing my mobile stick setups, I plan on just doing this modification to the bottom stick rather than each individual climbing stick all the way up to the top, just because you'll be able to climb it a lot faster and probably a lot safer. But nonetheless, this modification will allow me to get several feet higher up in the tree just by this one simple add-on. So that's all there is to it. This was a really simple, easy modification that any of you guys can make to any of your climbing sticks. Hopefully this video was helpful in letting you make these climbing stick extensions for yourself. And I wanted to have this on my channel just because you guys will see me referencing this a lot throughout the summer months when I'm checking trail cameras and when I'm doing my mobile hunting setups this fall. So I wanted to have this on my channel so I can point you guys in the right direction in case any of you guys have questions on how I made this extension. So hopefully this video is helpful. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to Bronc Outdoors. Thanks.